Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Mikel Arteta has created a defense that is the best in the world. Arsenal just don't concede. Don't believe me? Arsenal have conceded 3 goals in 8 games in the Premier League this campaign. Arsenal have conceded 0 goals in 3 Champions League games this campaign, and that includes a 4-0 thumping of Atletico Madrid. So what is going on at Arsenal? Are we looking at another Jose Mourinho team? Are we looking at a new Sean Dyche? Is Mikel Arteta creating another Burnley, another Stoke City, or are we just good defensively? In this video, I want to explain why Arsenal don't concede goals and why this is not a mistake. It is deliberate from Mikel Arteta. From day one, when Mikel Arteta got this Arsenal job, the things we saw, and one of the things we saw first was him trying not to concede goals. He tried to build a defense that is formidable. And right now, Arsenal have the best defense in the world. I'm not even kidding. Bayern are on form and PSG are on fire. But defensively, Arsenal are the best team in the world. And everyone in the Premier League is really scared about Arsenal. If they don't concede and they've brought in Eze and Gyökeres to score goals, looks like Arsenal are running away with the title this season, and no one can do anything about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know, why do you think Arsenal don't concede goals? Is it the defensive talent? Is it the profile? Is it the tactics of the manager? What stands out for you? Because for me, these are the reasons. Well, let's start off with the talent that Arsenal have put together in that back line, especially in terms of Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori and Timber. That is how we set up predominantly this campaign in a back four. And when you look at that team and you look at that back line, it is really, really talented, right? Of course, we cannot forget David Raya. Mikel Arteta has shown us one thing. Defensively, he's not willing to compromise. Remember the kind of cycles that we've actually gone through. He's been looking for the right talent. He's been looking for the right players that have got the right talent to sit in that back line and give him the confidence that he wants defensively. So when you think about Julian Timber, yes, he's a good defender, but he's a bloody good talent. And so is Ricardo Calafiori, and so is William Saliba, and so is Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, gone are the days where we used to think that defenders were not really talented. They were just footballers that just swept the ball away. Football has changed. When you think about Julian Timber, you think about a guy that is very comfortable in position. You think about a guy that is so confident, and a player that just does things that others don't do. And so does Ricardo Calafiori. His runs on, off the ball, his work rate. He's just a talented footballer. And so is Saliba. For me, Saliba, apart from Alejandro Bastoni, because for me, again, I really, really love Bastoni. I think Saliba could be one of the best talents the world has produced defensively in the last 10 years. And then think about Gabriel. And then there is this other layer apart from those 4. You have Lewis Kelly, massive talent, real talent. I'll give you a very interesting statistic. Champion Bet is giving you free 3,000 to bet with today and win some money. Free 3,000. This is what you're going to do. Go onto the Champion Bet website and register with us at Champion Bet Uganda. Fill in your details, your phone number, your name, your NIN, and then don't forget to use the promo code COSSY3000. That is COSY 3,000. Once you use that promo code on signing up, you're getting free 3,000. If you've done that, you know it's not a lie, you know it's real, you've got that money. What are you waiting for? Go onto the website, Champion Bet Uganda, register and get that 3,000. Bet we have a couple of games coming up today, and then you will win some money and withdraw to your account. Last season, there is no one player, be it Salah, be it Garnacho, whoever, that dribbled past Lewis Kelly once. No player had a successful dribble past Lewis Kelly even once. So I think Mikel has been handpicking his talents, and it is deliberate. Ben White, Piero Hincapié, Christian Mosquera, and I think about Tomiyasu as well. Tomiyasu, of course, it was the injuries, but his talent was undoubted. And when you pick talented players, what it does for you and what it does for your team is remarkable. It means you can tell them to do things and they can do them because naturally they're gifted and naturally they are talented. And that takes me to the next point. I think, again, Mikel Arteta has been very, very, very careful when building the profiles of defenders that he wants, right? So think about this. When you think about Arsenal, you're thinking about tall players that are nimble, they're fast, and they're composed. Those are Arsenal defenders. Calafiori is tall, but very, very quick and very flexible. And so is William Saliba. And so is Gabriel. And so is Ben White. Well, that doesn't come as a mistake. That is not a result of a mistake. That is the result of very good scouting and the result of very good handpicking. Because when you think about Gabriel, he's a big problem for defenses on the other end. He's a big centre back. He's a tall centre back. But Gabriel is not slow. I mean, him being tall and big doesn't make him slow. And Saliba is one of the fastest defenders in the Premier League. Ben White is fast and Calafiori is fast. And so he has created profiles that defensively, you cannot undermine them. You can't bully our defense. These are big players. These are big centre-backs. These are big full-backs, right? And he's actually playing centre-backs at full-back. Timber is a centre-back that has been shifted to right-back, and so is Ben White. And Ricardo Calafiori is a centre-back that has been turned into left-back, and so is Piero Hincapié. So what he has done there is he has got good profiles, very, very talented profiles of centre-backs, and he has shifted them into full-backs. That means that defensively, he doesn't really care, right? Defensively, these are centre-backs that will do the right thing at the right time. And you look at Christian Mosquera and you look at Piero Hincapié, they're all doing the right thing because they're profiles that were selected by the manager, carefully. So that's number one. You have tall players that are big, but they're very quick and very fast. And then I want you to think about this. In terms of profiles, almost all our players in defense are very comfortable on the ball. Again, that is not a mistake. I want to give you an example. When Arsenal had Skodran Mustafi wasn't comfortable on the ball. Sebastian Squillaci wasn't comfortable on the ball, and so was Socrates Papastopoulos. But one of the players that Mikel Arteta appreciated earlier on in his tenure at Arsenal was David Luiz, because David Luiz is comfortable on the ball. And what we are seeing, of course, David Luiz was in his evening days, and there were a few mistakes here and there. He was becoming old, right? And age was catching up with him. He was no longer that fast. He was no longer that nimble and all that. But when you think about all our defenders, they've got that profile and that semblance to David Luiz. That is not a mistake, right? Let me explain. So when you think about Mikel Arteta, he loves building out from the back. And if you're going to do that, it means teams are going to be pressing high up the pitch to stop you from building up, building up from the back. What you've got to do then is create profiles that are very comfortable on the ball so that you can draw in the press and expose spaces. For you to do that, you need players that are able. You need players that are comfortable. I'll give you a very good example. I was watching Manchester United versus Brighton over the weekend, and Manchester United scored 3 goals from Brighton failing to play out from the back. They squeezed them into their own half, and all the time, as Brighton tried to play to play up from the back, Man United won the ball back and scored. It happened on the first goal, it happened on the second goal, it happened on the fourth goal as well. But why does that happen? Well, it is the profile of players that you ought to have. That is why Mikel Arteta goes and gets Martin Zubimendi. That is why Mikel Arteta goes and buys Declan Rice for 100 million bloody pounds. Because he wants profiles that are comfortable on the ball. And now Arsenal is one of the few teams in the world that are very difficult to stop when they're playing out from the back. Because we could give it to Timber, he's comfortable. Zubimendi is comfortable, or we could cross it over to Calafiori. We don't have one player that you can call a pressing trigger, right? So, what is a pressing trigger? A pressing trigger is a player that the other team knows is uncomfortable to receive the ball, right? And eventually what they do, they surround him with players so that whenever he's on the ball, they put him under pressure and they win the ball back. So Arsenal don't have one single player that you can call, a pressing trigger, right? And that means that you have to allow us to play out from the back. Otherwise, all of our players are very, very comfortable from the goalkeeper to Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi, Odegaard, Saka. They're all comfortable on the ball. But you cannot talk about Arsenal's defense and why we don't concede, and you don't talk about the tactics of the manager. And Mikel Arteta's tactics have evolved over the years. Obviously, we know that, to kind of a period right now where we can say he has taken the handbrake off a little bit. Again, not so much, because you look at the goals that we are scoring and they are set pieces, and you look at the goals that we are, the margins that we are winning games by. It's a 1-0, it's a 3-0, it's a 2-0. So Arsenal, again, are not going to become the Jurgen Klopp Liverpool, where you thump a team 7-0, 9-0, 8-6. That might not happen. But what you're going to see more is Arsenal having 10 wins in a row, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-win, 2-0, 2-1. That will happen, right? And it is because of Mikel Arteta's tactics. Don't concede fast and then go and score. His priority as a manager is on, can we try not to concede? Can we make sure that we don't concede, especially early in games? And it is working, right? But I want to explain why these tactics are working very well. And I want to explain how he's using all his players to fit into the tactics that we're seeing today. And I want to start off with Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice. So when Mikel Arteta brought in Declan Rice in the first season, he had a fantastic campaign. But what he was doing really, he was going forward and being a bit of a box crusher, okay? Arriving in the penalty area late and, scoring headers, scoring tap-ins. I think in the first season, Declan Rice scored 8 goals and assisted 8 times. That is the highest he has ever done in the Premier League. And this is a player who is always reliable, playing 30 games and above. And we all said, okay, maybe he wants Declan Rice as a new Frank Lampard. But I was very skeptical because Declan Rice is, the best part of his game is not in scoring goals and creating chances for others. It's about picking up the ball and driving and winning the ball. When we brought him in, I think that was in the season 2023-2024, Declan Rice was one of the best ball winners in the world and the best in the Premier League. I think just behind Rodri, if I've not forgotten. So that highlights why Mikel Arteta brought in Declan Rice. He is an excellent ball winner. So what he has done, he has created Declan Rice as a good profile, and then he's created Martin Zubimendi as well. These two are the best protective layer to your defense. And by doing so, he has made sure that whenever the ball goes through our first line of defense, which is Eze, Saka, Martinelli, and Gyökeres, it doesn't go straight to the defense. You have to go through Rice and you have to go through Martin Zubimendi before you get to our defense. That is a very good protective layer. If you don't believe me, wait for one day when Arsenal play a game of football without Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi. You will see the chaos that will happen. So by doing that, he has created a layer of, defense in front of his defense. And then he's done something that most of us have seen. He's playing with an elbow system, and I've explained the elbow system on the previous channel for a very long time. So what's the elbow system? It means that when you have 4 defenders, one fullback will be allowed to operate with, a free license, while the other stays conventional and stays calm. Okay, so in this kind of lineup, it is Julian Timber that stays back, and what that does, it creates a back three when we are in attack. Julian Timber stays back. Ricardo Calafiori loves to, overlap and go into goal scoring areas and create a lot of problems for the opposition. So Timber, who doesn't overlap a lot of the time, you'll see him, he doesn't really stay back, but he underlaps. He doesn't go as far as the touch line, not the touch line, the byline. He actually underlaps and stays narrow. So that means that easily Arsenal can stay in a back three with Timber, Gabriel, and Saliba. And what that does is when we are under threat, we can easily form a back four because Ricardo Calafiori is far away. Martin Zubimendi will always drop deep into that back three to make it a back four. So the back four becomes Timber, Saliba, Zubimendi, and Gabriel, as Ricardo Calafiori recovers, and that gives Ricardo Calafiori enough time to recover, and maybe Arsenal try to press and we win the ball back. It means we have so many more players in advanced areas. And then you've got to think about the pressing. Arsenal is one of the best pressing teams in the world, and there is no better way, according to Pep Guardiola, of defending than just having the ball. So what we do, and I saw this against, we did this very well against Crystal Palace in the second half, and I saw them suffocated, and I saw them really, really struggling, and I was like, this is Arsenal Pro Max. What Arsenal do is they don't allow you to play out from the back. We don't allow that. Whenever you try to do it, we win the ball back. And these days, all teams want to play out from the back. You know why? Because going long risks losing the ball, right? And all managers, Oliver Glasner, Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, Arne Slot, whether it is Thomas Frank at Tottenham or it is Sean Dyche at Burnley, all managers these days want to keep the ball. So because you want to keep the ball, you will play out from the back. And because you're playing out from the back in order to keep the ball, Arsenal will press. And we have one of the best pressers in the Premier League. Our players are quick, fast, energetic, and intelligent, and deliberate. So eventually, because we win the ball back so much of the time in the opposition half, you find that Arsenal don't concede chances, and the XG against our defense is very small. Don't believe me? Let me give you the stat. In the last 3 games that Arsenal have played in the Premier League, that is West Ham, Fulham, and Crystal Palace, Arsenal have conceded a shot on goal in just 1 game, and that was the last game against Crystal Palace, and it wasn't a dangerous shot on goal. There you have it. So this team is so good at pressing, and this team is unbreakable when they sit in shape. That is why Arsenal are a team that don't concede goals. That is how Mikel Arteta has created a defense that everyone says, why can't we score against Arsenal? Well, we always have the ball, that's number one. But even if we don't, we have the right profiles and the right talents in that defense.